Welcome to New Money, where we talk to movers and shakers about how they made it. I'm Rosemarie Miller here with Jeezy Jenkins, and you may just know him as Jeezy. Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today, Jeezy.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So in your book, Adversity for Sale, I love the name of that.
Yes.
You talk a lot about how you were depressed. You talked about how you were a thief. And a lot more, a lot of your struggles to get to success.
Yeah.
So why did you find right now in your life, this moment, the time to write a memoir?
Good question. I think the time was now because I've been delivering my message through my music for decades, and I've been on a self-healing journey for about the last 8 years, and a good friend of mine, which was one of my mentors, gave me the book Think and Grow Rich, and that changed my life. And it was like this new information that I've been learning, I've been getting it out of book form. So I thought it was important to give this information back to the culture in a book form, because that's how I was learning it. And I started to understand, okay, I could tell my story in a different way, because a lot of people heard my story through my music for sure. You know, we get bits and pieces, sound bites, but this is like the whole interview, if you will.
So you see a self-healing journey. Could you detail some of the things you struggled with?
I mean, you name it, it's all in the book, from trauma to depression to PTSD to anxiety to trust issues. You know, same typical coming from the ghetto, you know, trying to figure your life out, getting burnt all along the way, you know, having to learn by trial and error. And it just does something to you. But as I began to get into my success, I just had to learn. I was just wondering why I was never happy about what was going on with me, right? Or why I wasn't enjoying it. It just seemed like a burden. It seemed like all the things that were mine, that I had accumulated, that I could lose them any day, so it really didn't matter. You know, I was living short term, if you will. Like, I wasn't like planning for what am I going to do next summer or next year, the year after that. It was like everything was kind of day to day. And I was just trying to realize, you know, I was trying to understand what was going on. And the more I dove into these books and just started to understand things about myself, I'm going like, oh, so this is childhood trauma. Okay, maybe I need to talk to somebody about that. Oh, this is anxiety. Maybe I need to talk to somebody about that. And I just started getting on this journey. And for me, it was more so like, the more I learned, the more I wanted to give back. Like, I mean, the more information I wanted to put back in the culture, because where we from, it's considered weak to talk to somebody else about what you got going on. You're supposed to just deal with it. We're told to just, you know, your grandma used to spank you and tell you, I'm gonna give you something to cry about. You better stop crying.
That's grandma.
Right. You know what I mean? But, you know, so we just grew up that way, and I just started to realize this sense of freedom when I was able to identify it and start dealing with it head on. And, you know, each block that I chipped away, I was just like, damn, I feel better. You know, I'm feeling lighter, and I just kept going. Of course, I'm still on the journey. It doesn't stop. But I just wanted to put it in the book. I just felt like, coming from where I'm coming from as a black man, I think other men need to hear this. They need to understand that it's never too late to start working on yourself. You know, they say you can have a whole lot of money, but if your mental ain't right, you still broke.
That's true. That's true.